Alright guys, if you have a truck like this, whether it's a Chevy Silverado, a GMC Sierra, maybe it's a Trailblazer or one of those other family lines, and you shut the key off and the blower fan still keeps blowing like the air conditioning or the heater wants to keep going even after the key's off, it's probably a real simple fix. It's probably this part right here. About a $25 to $30 part you can get on Amazon, and it takes about 10 minutes to change. Follow along, I'll show you how I did it today on my truck. Hey guys, welcome back. You might be surprised to know that my latest project, this crappy looking 2003 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD, has a few issues. One of which is a fairly common issue, and I was getting ready to fix it and I thought, you know what? Somebody else might want to learn from this. Not just how to swap it out, but how to troubleshoot and save yourself a few bucks. So let's jump right in. I'm going to show you exactly what's going on with the truck. Okay, biggest thing I got going, common problem with these trucks. Once I shut the truck off after driving it, my air conditioning or whatever, the fan will just stay on sometimes. And that is unfortunate. Also, when the truck's on, a lot of times I go to turn my fan up or down and nothing happens. A few times, you know, lucky times, we're driving, it's hot outside, I turn it on, the air conditioning, it won't come on. You know, the fan won't come up. I can feel a little bit of cool air like trying to mist out, but the fan won't turn it up. So I did some troubleshooting, I did some pricing on some parts, and I think I've got it figured out where I'm going to save a few bucks. Here's the deal. One might dive in right here and think this is what's wrong because it's not turning up and down. The automatic temperature controller. And if you want a new one, it costs about 200 bucks for that thing. The other thing that goes wrong, and it's a fairly common problem with these trucks, is the blower resistor. And that's this guy up under the dash. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to get to it real easy here. This cover sits underneath like this. You're going to undo two bolts with a 7mm socket, and you're going to undo those and just pull this cover down. And then you're going to come right into this little guy here, and you know it's the right one because it's going to have this plug come in. Take a 7/32 socket. Great, we get to use that thing out of the toolbox for the first time ever. Undo two screws, one on each side. This guy's going to fall out. And this, friends, is what's screwing up and causing all the issues with the truck. So we can take this plug out, take this module loose, and I'll show you and compare it with the new one. I'll tell you what's happening here. Okay, so some of you guys, if you're like me, are wondering, do I need to spend 200 bucks and replace my control unit, or can I get away with a $25 part off Amazon and replace just the blower resistor? Let me show you guys how I troubleshot the problem and how I think I figured out that it's the blower resistor. You guys tell me in the comments below whether I'm crazy, and hey, I'm going to swap this part out because I already got a new one, and we'll see if it works. Here's the troubleshooting procedure, okay? First off, I got my voltmeter set up, DC volts, and I'm going to take my leads, come down here to the plug-in. This is the plug that goes straight into the bottom of this guy right here, and it's pretty simple. There's red for hot, black for ground, and those things are always hot and always ground, and then this middle one is the purple. It's the signal wire that receives the signal very simply from the control panel up here. Okay, so this is how I sorted this problem out. I stuck the red in on the red wire for hot. I stuck my black ground right in the middle terminal where the purple wire goes. And then we're going to come over here and you can read on the voltmeter zeros. I'm going to turn my key on, run my fan controller switch all the way down to the bottom setting, and look at what my voltmeter reads. 1.4 volts. Okay, now let's go in here, kick it up to the next level, 2.17 volts, 2.18. Next level, 3, and you can see it goes all the way up, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 7, and I'll go all the way to level 5 on my fan blower, and there you go, about almost 10.1 volts. Come back down, voltage is going to drop. If I hit my power button, voltage goes to 0. Okay, so that tells me right there that that control panel is working. Regardless of what's going on with what happens down here with the fan, because a lot of times what's going on with these trucks is, and what's going on with me, you turn the key off, and even though the power switch is off and the key's off, this fan will continue to sit down here and run, because for some reason this resistor in here is kicking out output to the fan saying no, keep running. It's very simple. It takes those three signals, it just takes the ground, the power, and the signal, kicks into this resistor, and then this resistor just has power and ground out to the fan and tells that fan whether to be on or off and at what level. So we got a new one of these. I'm going to pull it out of the box. I'm going to replace it. Here's the trick. You can get these guys on Amazon. You can find them at your local parts store. It doesn't have to be exact. I hope I didn't get the exact one because they didn't have it. But I'm going to put this guy in. I'm going to have to do a couple wire splices. As you can see, this one here has the output to the fan, but those three are like this. So I'm going to have to cut the ones on the truck, splice these wires in, and reconnect it. I'll do that. I'll bring it back and we'll see what happens. Okay friends, pretty easy. All I did was stick that new module in, 2 screws hold it in, 7/32 socket, stuck them down on there. I plugged in the pigtail that came with it. This part, the 2-prong, is exactly like what came off the other one. It's gonna just go around right here to the back of the fan, and that's gonna clip in and plug in, and that is just the signal to the fan. And as soon as I can find it, there we go. It clips into place, and that leaves me with these 3 wires here, which are pretty obvious. They go connect to these 3 wires here. So I'm just going to cut this pigtail. Crimp them on there, and I think I have all the tools to do so. If you're like me and you left your good crimper, wire stripper tools at your day job, then you got to use these crappy ones. They'll work. I have some butt connectors that'll shrink down with heat, so I'm just going to do those, strip them, crimp them, put them in there, and we'll see how this works. Alright guys, I got her buttoned up, my 3 wires connected, pretty straightforward. Same color wire connected to the same color wire. That's plugged into the fan back there, and the module's in the blower resistor. So if my research is correct and our troubleshooting is correct, I should be able to fire this thing up and then operate my heater and my air conditioner as normal. All right, let's see what happens here. It's turned on. Let's go here. Okay, good. We'll bring some up here. Yep. Got it coming out. Yep, each time I push it up, we get a little more. Till we go to top level, you can hear it screaming there. That's really good. And if I hit this power button and it turns off, and the blower shuts off, just like it's supposed to work. And the last test is, because this is what a lot of people have problems with, have it on, and you shut the rig off when it's running. Yeah, a lot of the times what goes on is it just keeps on running. So there you go. There you have it, quick fix. All you need is a voltmeter. You can troubleshoot this thing to see if it's the expensive part or the cheap and easy to change part. There you go. Hope that helps somebody out. Take care.